Welcome to Whisper Tales, where every whisper hides a nightmare. 99% of you guys are just watching but not subscribing. If you love spine-chilling horror stories that keep you up at night, then hit subscribe and join our dark journey, because the next tale might be about you. It was a rainy Tuesday when Michael Reed ducked into the downtown Seattle Starbucks. He shook the cold off his jacket and exhaled, fogging up his glasses. The bell above the door didn't chime. He wasn't even sure it had a bell, but the barista at the counter was already looking up, smiling. "Welcome in, Michael," she said brightly. He stopped, blinking. How'd you? Your name," she said, tapping the side of her head with a wink. "Just a good guesser." He laughed awkwardly and stepped forward. The interior was normal enough, earthy tones, that vague smell of burnt coffee and vanilla syrup, an indie acoustic playing overhead. He scanned the chalkboard menu even though he knew what he wanted. "Grande Americano, please." "Coming right up." She scribbled on a cup, sharp as squeaking. Without asking his name, he leaned slightly to look at what she wrote. Michael. It wasn't uncommon. Still, a little weird. He glanced at her name tag. Michaela. She noticed him looking and grinned. Yep. Close enough. She moved efficiently, steaming milk and tamping grounds. But something about her rhythm was off, too perfect, like muscle memory on a loop. Michael took a seat near the front window, next to a group of students typing on laptops. One wore a hoodie that said, "Seattle U." Another had a spiral notebook full of messy notes. He glanced down and saw the name, Michael R., written in the corner of the page. He frowned. Then one of the others spoke. "Mike, can you pass the charger?" Two of them reached for it. They both responded. "Here." He chuckled nervously and looked around. 3 others in the shop were at separate tables. All had name tags from office jobs clipped to their shirts. Michael Mike R. M. Reed. His heart stuttered slightly. Coincidence? He walked to the pickup counter and grabbed his cup. The barista smiled. "Enjoy it, Michael." He looked at the name again. Black ink. Bold letters. Michael. No last initial. As he turned to leave, he froze. Another customer walked in. Same height. Same clothes. Same face. Exactly the same. Michael blinked and instinctively looked at the mirror hanging near the pastry case to confirm he wasn't imagining it. But the mirror showed no reflection where the new man stood. The doppelganger walked past him silently and nodded. "Hey, Michael," he said to the barista. "Welcome back," she replied, as though this was routine. The cup she handed him was already waiting. Identical order. Identical handwriting. Michael. Outside, the rain had stopped. But inside, something clung to the air like static. Michael sat again, watching the other him stir cream into the same drink. They didn't look at each other again. He told himself this was just a prank. Or performance art. Something ironic. Seattle was weird. But as he got up to leave, he paused at the trash can. There were several used cups stacked on top. He peeked at them. Michael. Michael. Mike. M. Reed. Every single one. His heartbeat thudded in his ears. He turned back to the room, and now realized. Every person in the Starbucks was him. Some older. Some slightly younger. Some with facial hair or different clothes. But all him. All Michael Reed. They stared back now. No one smiled. Not even the barista. He bolted for the door. It didn't open. He pressed harder, panic rising. It was just glass, but it wouldn't move. He slammed his shoulder into it. Nothing. Behind him, the voices began murmuring. "Michael! You weren't supposed to leave yet. He's disrupting the cycle." The sound built, like a rising choir of identical tones. He spun to see them standing now. In unison. Staring. One of them, the version who'd entered after him, stepped forward. His face was calm, collected. Cold. I know it's confusing, the other Michael said. It was for all of us at first. What the hell is this? He snapped. Other Michael gestured to the cafe. This is where we go when the identity fractures. You ever get that feeling you're not the only version of yourself? That there's another you living a better life, making better choices? Michael didn't answer. Welcome to the hub, the man said. What hub? The place between names, he said. Where all the Michaels meet. Michael backed away. This is a dream. Other Michael smiled. If it is, why do you still taste the coffee? Michael's stomach turned. He could still taste it. The acid. The bitterness. The exact profile of the beans. Real. Too real. A hand landed on his shoulder. He turned. A third Michael. His face was scarred, as if burned. His eyes were red and sleepless. You don't get to leave until the order's complete, scarred Michael said. What order? A new voice from behind the counter spoke. The barista, but different now. Her apron was stained. Her face, empty. Her smile too wide. There's only one spot outside, she said. Only one gets to go back. The Starbucks lights flickered. Outside, the world had gone still. Frozen. Michael realized what they meant. Only one version of him gets to leave. The others? They stay. Trapped. Returned. Recycled. He ran to the restroom at the back. Slammed the door shut. Turned the lock. Breathing hard, he looked in the mirror. At first, just his own reflection. Then, another version of him appeared beside it. Then another. And another. Until the mirror was filled with hundreds of hims, each slightly different. Some with tears in their eyes. Some bleeding. Some smiling with teeth too sharp. One mouthed, "Kill them before they kill you!" The mirror cracked. The bathroom mirror cracked again. Michael backed away from the sink, eyes darting across the fractured glass. His own face stared back at him, multiplied a dozen times, each fragment showing a different version. The one in the top corner had a bleeding nose. Another was smiling calmly, too calmly. He twisted the doorknob. It wouldn't move. Outside, footsteps. Dozens of them. Marching in sync. They were waiting. "Let me out!" he shouted. No answer. Only the hum of fluorescent lights above. Buzzing like bees in a jar. He looked around the small restroom. Beige walls. Metal toilet. Cheap soap. And graffiti on the back of the door he hadn't seen before. Scrawled in black marker. "The only way out is to order yourself." He stared. The handwriting was his. He checked his pockets. Still had his wallet. His phone had no signal. The Starbucks Wi-Fi wasn't working, just showed a spinning wheel and the word, "sinking." He tapped the home button. The lock screen showed a notification. "Welcome, Michael. Preparing memory sync. Please wait." The battery drained from 60% to 14% in a blink. The screen died. Panic clawed at his throat. Then, knock, knock, knock. "Orders up," a voice sang. He looked at the door, expecting to see a shadow under it. But instead, the handle turned itself. Slowly. Smoothly. It clicked open. Michael stepped out into an empty Starbucks. Silent. Still. The lights above flickered with a slight green hue. It looked the same, but different. As though someone had taken a picture of the shop and added a layer of static. There was no one behind the counter. No customers. No music. No barista. He walked slowly toward the register. Then the overhead speaker clicked on. "Michael R., your mobile order is ready at the bar." He stopped. That wasn't his voice. It was his mother's. Then, "Michael R., your mobile order is ready." To become real again. The voice shifted with each repetition. His father, an old teacher, his childhood friend, a stranger, a warped robotic echo of his own. Michael turned toward the pickup counter. A cup waited. Still steaming. He approached, hard hammering. Written on the side in familiar handwriting. Michael Reed, final copy. A chill ran through him. He didn't touch the cup. Instead, he turned, and nearly collided with a man standing behind him. Himself. But not just a look-alike. This version was wrong. Skin pale. Eyes sunken. Movements jerky. Don't drink it, the doppelganger said, voice trembling. That's how they upload you. What are you talking about? They need a stable copy. One that accepts the script. Drinking your final order syncs your mind with the construct. Michael stepped back. You're insane. The other shook his head. I was like you. Then I drank. I remember everything now, all the lives, all the loops. Michael stared at the cup. The coffee inside swirled without being touched, as if stirred by an unseen hand. Why are there so many of us? Michael asked quietly. The other version sighed. You ever notice how there are always people with your name at Starbucks? Same spellings, same drinks, same jobs. Michael nodded. That's not coincidence. Starbucks doesn't just serve coffee. It's a filtering system. They identify fractured identity threads. People with multiple potential selves. Then they bring them here. To what? Merge us? To consolidate, the other whispered. To find the cleanest version of us. The one that fits the corporate mold. The one that doesn't question the routine. The one who can live on autopilot without breaking. And the rest of us? The doppelganger glanced at the trash can. Michael's breath caught. He walked over. Slowly. Inside were used cups. But they weren't empty. Each cup held teeth, hair, bits of tongue. All labeled Michael. He gagged and stumbled back. You can't leave until you're selected, the double said. One Michael gets to return to the outside world. The rest. A voice behind them cut through the silence. Time for final assessment, Michaels. They turned. The barista. But now, her face was smooth. Featureless. Just a blank slab of skin and a wide, red smile. She reached into her apron and pulled out a clipboard. Pages fluttered in the air around her, each one bearing a photo of Michael in different styles, some corporate, some grunge, some disheveled, some smiling. This branch has too many Michaels, she said cheerfully. Only one can rejoin society. What if we refuse? Michael said. She tilted her head. Then none of you leave. A bell rang. A countdown appeared on the wall, projected in red digital light. 1500 hours. Selected identity, unlocking. Vote in progress. Lights above began to strobe. One by one, versions of Michael stepped out from the shadows of the Starbucks. From behind chairs. From closets. From the walls. Some smiling. Some crying. Some armed. Each began casting a vote into a floating black box near the counter. Michael turned to his double. What is this? The double whispered. Survival of the safest. The first punch came from behind. He turned to see another Michael, blood running from his mouth, slam a chair over his back. Michael hit the floor, gasping. Only one leaves, the attacker hissed. Two more joined in. Michael kicked wildly, scrambling to his feet. The barista just watched. Sipping coffee from a cup labeled Control. Michael ran again. To the back hallway. Past the restroom. Past the storage room. Through a door marked Employees Only. Inside, he found a hallway, stretching far beyond the building's limits. Miles long, flanked with doorways. Each door labeled Michael R. Prototype, ###.